Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2019 format. On one side, we've got the Chandelure deck, as used by Jimmy Wuyts, a top 128 competitor in the 2019 World Championships, going up against a Whimsicott GX deck, as used by Finton, another top 128 competitor. The Chandelure deck is going to be focused on using Chandelure's Spirit Burner attack, which discards the top 5 cards of the player's deck, and then deals 10 damage plus 60 more damage for every Pokemon that was discarded in this way. And then the player can place any number of fire Pokemon that were discarded directly onto their bench, regardless of their evolution stage. So in this way, the player can have a variety of powerful support and attacking Pokemon. And the Whimsicott deck is going to be focused on using Porygon-Z's ability Crazy Code, which lets the player attach as many special energy cards in their hand directly onto their Pokemon as they like. And Whimsicott's attack Energy Blow deals 10 damage plus 30 more damage times the number of energy cards it has attached to it, letting it hit for really high numbers. Plus, it also has the ability called Fluffy Cotton, which on a coin flip of heads, completely prevents all damage done onto Whimsicott from the opponent's attacks. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, as we're really close to hitting 3,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the content on this channel, please make sure to leave a subscribe, it would really help us a lot. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle! And here we go, the battle has started, with both players flipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Chandelure side, we've got Litwick as the active Pokemon, and on the Whimsicott side, we've got Porygon as the active Pokemon. The Whimsicott side is going first, attaching a Recycle Energy to the Porygon, and then activating Pokemon Communication, swapping out a Whimsicott from the hand for any Pokemon from the deck. And the chosen one is going to be the Cottony, which comes down onto the bench. It's going to be the main attacker once it evolves to the Whimsicott later in the game. Okay, now the player's going to be activating and support a card for their turn, Steven's Resolve. Now they can search the deck for any 3 cards that they want to add to their hand, but it also does automatically end the player's turn, though it doesn't really matter in the first turn because they can't attack anyway, so they might as well just set up their hand for the next turn. Okay, there we go. And now turn passes over to the Chandelure's first turn. Let's see what they can do. Okay, they're also going to be starting off by using Pokemon Communication, swapping out a Lampent from the hand for any Pokemon as well. So they're going to be choosing another Litwick to come down onto the bench. So now the player has to try to find a way to quickly evolve these Litwick into Chandelure as quickly as possible. Okay, now the player's going to be activating their Stadium card, Giant Hearth, discarding 1 card from their hand for 2 fire energies from the deck. Okay, there's 1 fire energy, and there's the second one. The player's going to be trying to thin out their deck as much as possible of any fire energies and trainer cards, leaving only the Pokemon behind to be discarded by the Chandelure attack. Okay, now the support is going to be the Green's Exploration, searching the deck for any 2 trainer cards. So the player's going to be searching out a Duskstone and another Green's Exploration to be used in the following turn. Okay, and there's the attack, Find a Friend. The player can now search the deck for any fire Pokemon to add to their hand. It's going to be the Lampent to evolve one of these Litwick on the following turn. Okay, off to a pretty good start so far. Back over to the Whimsicott side. Let's see what they can do. Okay, now the Porygon's going to be retreating, discarding the Recycle Energy. And the Recycle Energy does return to the player's hand every time it gets discarded. Okay, there we see the Rare Candy evolving Porygon into Porygon-Z, along with the Cottony evolving into the Whimsicott GX, and there we see the supporter, Professor Elm's Lecture, searching the deck for up to 3 Pokemon with 60 HP or fewer. So the player's going to be searching out another Porygon, a Cottony, and another Cottony. Okay, there we go. So 4 Pokemon on the bench so far. And also with the Porygon-Z in play, the player can attach as many special energy cards as they want per turn. Okay, there we see 1 energy coming down. It's going to be a Unit Energy. It provides Fighting Energy, Darkness Energy, and Fairy Energy. And there's the attack. It's going to be the GX attack, Toy Box GX. And now the player can search the deck for up to 5 cards to add to their hand. Okay, they're still not dealing any damage, but continuing to set up their hand. Okay, so that's going to be it for the Whimsicott's second turn. There we go, 5 cards going to the player's hand. Now back over to the Chandelure side. Let's see what they can do. Starting off by using the Giant Hearth, once again discarding another Fire Energy for 2 more energies to add to their hand. There's the first one. Okay, there's the second one. Okay, the player also has the Lampent in their hand. We saw it be added to their hand last turn with the Find a Friend. There's the Fire Energy coming down to the bench Litwick now. Okay, now the active one. Well, actually both of them. They're both going to be evolving into Lampent, and the player also activates 2 Duskstones, letting both Lampent evolve in the first turn immediately into their final form, Chandelure. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to be seeing some damage coming through. But the player still has some ways to thin out their deck a little further. Okay, there we go. It's going to be the Green's Exploration. searching the deck for 2 more trainer cards to add to their hand. It's going to be the Brock's Grit and a Pokemon Communication. Okay, some more trainer cards going to the player's hand. Do they have any more ways to thin out their deck? No, that's going to be the attack. Spirit Burner. Discarding 5 cards. Let's see what they discard. There's 1 Pokemon so far. It's going to be the Ninetales. And a Litwick, so only 2 Pokemon were discarded, hitting for a total of 130 damage, but there's a coin flip for the Fluffy Cotton, and the player got ahead, so actually Whimsicott does not take any damage at all. Okay, the Ninetales did come down for the Chandelure side, though. Okay, now over to the Whimsicott side. The player activates the Cherish Ball to search the deck for another Whimsicott to evolve one of their Cottony on the bench. Do they have any more energy in their hand to attack the Chandelure? Actually, both of the Cottony on the bench evolved, so now the player has 3 Whimsicott GX. Okay, there's the Crazy Code activating, attaching a Rainbow Energy to one of the bench Whimsicott. Okay, there we see the player putting the 10 damage on it for the Rainbow Energy. And there was... Oh, it's going to be a lot of energy coming down to the active one. Let's see, it's a Recycle Energy. Actually, 3 Recycle Energies. Looks like they were all searched out by the Toy Box, along with, what's that one called? The Triple Energy. The Boost Energy? No, that's not what it's called. Triple Acceleration Energy, that's what it is. So it should be enough for a 1-hit KO. But before the attack, the player's going to be activating Cynthia to shuffle away their hand and then draw 6 brand new cards. Okay, and there's the attack. Energy Blow, taking the KO against Chandelure and taking the first prize of the game. Okay, now the Triple Acceleration Energy is discarded at the end of the turn. And now the second Chandelure comes into the active spot. Okay, the player's going to be activating their Pokemon Communication, swapping out a Charizard from their hand for, let's see, which Pokemon. It's going to be another Litwick coming down, just in case the active Chandelure gets KO'd on the following turn. And then we see the Giant Hearth activating, discarding another Fire Energy from the hand for 2 more energies out of the deck. Once again, just thinning out their deck as much as possible of any trainer cards and energy cards. And do they have any other ways to search out trainer cards? Yes, they do. They have the Builds Analysis to look at the top 7 cards of their deck and then choose to keep any 2 trainer cards that they find in their hand. So let's see what they get. It's going to be another copy of the Builds Analysis and Pokemon Communication. And then the rest of the cards go back into the deck. Okay, so this might be time for the attack. Yeah, there's the attack. Spirit Burner. Once again, discarding the top 5 cards. There's 1 Pokemon so far. There's 2. There's 3. And 4, hitting for a potential of 250 damage. And there's the coin flip for the Fluffy Cotton. It's going to be Tails that time. So Whimsicott is going to be getting KO'd, giving the Chandelure 2 prize cards. Okay, so the Chandelure is now in the lead. 4 prizes to 5. And then all 3 of the Recycle Energies return to the player's hand on the Whimsicott side. Okay, there we see the second Whimsicott coming into the active spot now. It already has 1 of the Rainbow Energies. Plus, we already know the player has 3 Recycle Energies in hand. Whimsicott needs 5 energy, not 3, to take the KO against Chandelure. Yeah, and there's 4 more energy coming down with the Porygon-Z ability. It looks like it was a second Rainbow Energy, so Whimsicott's going to be taking another 10 damage. And there's a Cherish Ball, searching the deck for Dedenne GX to add to the player's hand. Okay, now the player's going to be activating the Pokemon Communication, placing the Dedenne back into the deck for any Pokemon that the player needs. Okay, and the chosen one's going to be another Cottony coming down onto the bench. And I believe that's going to be the 4th one. There we see the manual attachment. It's going to be a basic Fairy Energy coming down to the bench Whimsicott. And there's the attack Energy Blow, taking the KO against Chandelure, and then taking the second prize card. So now both sides are tied at 4 prizes remaining apiece. Okay, on the other side, there we see Charizard coming into the active spot. It was one of the Pokemon that was discarded on the previous turn by the Spirit Burner, alongside the Blaziken. And then we see the player activating their supporter card, Brock's Grit, to search the discard pile for, let's see, 4 Fire Energy, Lampent, and Chandelure to be shuffled back into the deck. And then Charizard can also attach energy to itself from the deck with its ability Roaring Resolve. But first, the player's going to be activating the Pokemon Communication, swapping out the Delphox from their hand for... It's going to be the Lampent from the deck to evolve the Litwick that they placed down. Okay, there we see Charizard's ability activating Roaring Resolve. It places 2 damage counters on itself, but it can also search out the deck for 2 Fire Energy to equip onto itself. So it needs 3 energy to take the KO against its Whimsicott. So a manual attachment from the hand should be enough. Okay, but first there we see the Blaziken ability, Firestarter, getting a discarded fire energy to attach onto the Lampent now. And there's the ability from the Ninetales, Nine Temptations, discarding 2 fire energies to target the Porygon-Z from the bench to place into the active spot. Okay, the player's going to be going after the Porygon-Z to cut off the acceleration engine. And there's the attack. Continuous Blaze Ball, taking the KO against Porygon-Z and taking the 3rd prize card. Once again, the Chandelure side is in the lead. Okay, the Whimsicott comes back into the active spot, and it still has all its energies, so it's going to be easily able to take the KO against Charizard. The player's going to be activating their Poke Gear to look at the top 7 cards of their deck, and then keep any supported card that they find in their hand. And it's going to be the Professor Elm's Lecture. Not going to be very useful right now, because the player does not need any more basic Pokemon on their bench. Do they have any more cards to play? Okay, there's their supporter card, Cynthia, now, to shuffle away their hand, to draw another 6 cards. Okay, it looks like the player's going to be trying to find another Rare Candy in Porygon-Z to evolve their benched Porygon. Let's see if they got it. Okay, not yet, but there we see a Unit Energy coming down onto the benched Whimsicott GX, and there's the attack, another Energy Blow, taking the KO against Charizard, and then taking the 3rd prize for the Whimsicott side, tying up the game, 3 prizes apiece. And now Lampent comes into the active spot. Let's see if the player has another Chandelure to evolve it. There we see a Poke Gear now from the Chandelure side. Looking at the top 7 cards for any supporter card. Let's see if they find one. Okay, it's going to be the Bill's Analysis. But it's going to be possible to search out Chandelure with the Bill's Analysis. Let's see what they can do. Okay, again looking at the top 7 cards. And then keeping 2 trainer cards that they find. So let's see what they end up getting. It's going to be another Brock's Grit. And, okay, this might do it. The Pokemon Communication. If the player has a Pokemon in their hand, they can use it to swap it out for the Chandelure. And yes, that's going to be the play. Swapping out a Delphox for the Chandelure. Okay, so they're going to be having access to another Spirit Burner attack this turn to potentially take the KO against Whimsicott. Okay, there we see the Giant Hearth activating, discarding Green's Exploration from the hand. They're not going to be using it anymore. For 2 fire energies from the deck. Plus, they still have access to the Firestarter ability on the Blaziken. So let's see where the energy cards are going to be going. There's the Firestarter. The energy can only be attached to a benched Pokemon. So, okay, the Blaziken is going to be attaching energy onto itself. And there's the manual attachment, another fire energy onto the Blaziken. It just needs 1 more to be fully powered up. And there's the attack, Spirit Burner, discarding another 5 cards. Okay, there's 1 Pokemon. 2 Pokemon. Okay, so only hitting for 130 damage. Not enough to take the KO. And here's the coin flip for the Fluffy Cotton. Oh, and it's going to be heads, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because the Whimsicott does not take any damage. It's going to be another KO for the Whimsicott side. Okay, there's another attachment onto the bench Whimsicott. It's going to be a Rainbow Energy. It takes 10 damage, and there's the attack. Energy Blow, taking the KO against Chandelure. And now Whimsicott is in the lead, 2 prizes to 3. The next Chandelure comes into the active spot now. It was discarded by the previous one, Spirit Burner. And there's Bill's Analysis. Looking at the top 7 cards to keep 2 trainer cards. Just to continue thinning out the deck of any trainer and energy cards. Okay, it's going to be 2 Poke Gears. Actually, I don't know if the player has any more energy cards left in their deck. I think they searched everything out with the Giant Hearth and the Charizard ability. Okay, there's going to be one of the Poke Gears. Searching for a supporter card to thin out of the deck. And I don't think they have many cards left. Okay, they just picked up 7, and I think there was only 1 card left in the entire deck, so I think they have a total of 8 left. There's the second Poke Gear. Looking for... I think they might have 1 supporter card? No, they still didn't get anything. Okay, unless they just want to thin out their hand. Okay, so no supporter cards were found off the Poke Gear. There's the manual attachment, a fire energy onto the Chandelure to power it up. And there's the Firestarter from the Blaziken, getting a discarded energy onto itself, so it is now fully powered up. And there's the attack, Spirit Burner. Discarding another 5 cards. There's 2 Pokemon. 3, 4, 5 Pokemon! That's going to be over 300 damage. Here's the coin flip. And another heads! This Whimsicott is not going down. Okay, now the Chandelure player completely fills up their bench with powerful Pokemon. But it doesn't look like they can take down this Whimsicott. Yeah, the player doesn't play any cards, going straight for the attack, taking the KO against Chandelure, taking another prize card. They just got to take one more KO to win this game, and I think that's going to be it. Yeah, there we see Charizard coming into the active spot. It has no energy on it. Okay, but the player's going to be activating a Brock's Grit to shuffle some energy from the discard pile back into the deck. And then Charizard can use its ability to attach those energies onto itself. So as long as the player has an energy card in their hand to attach onto the Charizard, it should be enough for the KO and take 2 more prizes, but then the next Whimsicott can just take the KO against Charizard to win the game. So at this point, the player's just playing for pride. They're not going to be winning. Okay, there we see the energy coming down onto both of the Charizard. They're both going to be taking 20 damage apiece. Does the player have their 3rd energy card in the hand for the Charizard? Okay, yes they do. But can their attack even go through the ability? Okay, there's the attack. Continuous Blaze Ball hitting for 180 damage. Here's the coin flip. And it's a Tails! Finally, Whimsicott is KO'd. The Chandelure player takes 2 more prizes, tying up the game at 1 prize remaining apiece, but it's not going to be... it's not going to be enough, because the next Whimsicott can just take the KO against Charizard to win the game. Alright, there's the next Whimsicott coming into the active spot. Yeah, this is going to be the end of the game. Oh, and there's the triple acceleration energy. Just for good measure. There's the final attack. Energy Blow taking the KO against Charizard to take the final prize card. And there's the handshake. Whimsicott is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Finton logging out.